Hello my sweets, it's Keisha. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thank you for joining me and I hope you consider subscribing. Today I'm excited to show you how I made this rustic farmhouse sign from some inexpensive items. If you'd like to see how, just keep watching. To begin this DIY, I have an 8x10 Crafter Square stretched canvas that I have taken the canvas off and I have pried the staples out of the back. Also, I have some of these quart paint sticks, comes 32 a pack from Home Depot, and you get 30 for 98 cents. I chose these because I want to use them on the back of this frame, and the ones from Dollar Tree just aren't long enough to fit on there. So canvas is from Dollar Tree and the sticks are from Home Depot. So what I'm gonna do is take this hazelnut Waverly chalk paint and Waverly chalk paint, and I'm gonna paint the inside and the sides of the frame, and then I'm gonna paint the sticks as well. And once I'm done, I will set those to the side to dry. Next, I have this pumpkin printout, and this is the one that I used last week. I'll link it down in the description box below. And if you happen to miss that video, I'll also link that as well. But I'm going to use it again, obviously, and it's going to be similar steps as to what we did. So what I want to do is trace out the entire pumpkin one time, and then I'm going to come around again and trace out the pumpkin, just the center portion here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and then next what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this out. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And what I'm gonna do, just like last time, is go ahead and mark this with an arrow so I know that this way is going to be pointing up. Okay, so I am going to move this to the side and then get out the other piece that we'll be working on next. Next, what I did is I cut all of the excess paper from around the pumpkin, and I'm going to trace this. Trace it onto this cookie sheet. They come in a pack of 2 from Dollar Tree, and we're just using 1 right now. And I'm going to trace the entire pumpkin onto the sheet. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And then next, I jumped the gun and cut it apart before I really needed to. So the next what I'm going to do is take out this middle section and do the same thing like we did with the poster board. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is cut these out, and when I get them cut out, I will be right back. Now that the cookie sheet pieces have been cut out, the next thing I'm going to do is stick them down onto the pumpkin, and I'm going to be using this quick grip glue that I have, and I marked this one also so I wouldn't get mixed up, and I'm just going to stick them down onto their respective pieces here. And then once I do that, I'm going to set it to the side to let this glue set up. Okay, Okay, so what I've done next is I have started the galvanizing process of the pumpkin. And what I did on both pieces is I went around the edges with the elephant chalk paint. And next I'm going to go over it with so elephant, silver lining, this gunmetal gray, and this silver. Okay, and I'm going to use a makeup sponge, and I just have the colors here on the scrap piece of the metal. And so I'm just going to go over, just pouncing up and down in a random motion, and just go over all of the colors. So this is basically a matter of taste as far as how much of each paint you use, and how much of each paint you use, excuse me. I did want to start with the chalk paint though, just because I feel like maybe the acrylic paint might not stick too well to the metal portion. So again, you just want to kind of move the sponge around, and you want to be sure to come around and get your edges as well. And you can do as much as the color of one color or as little as one color as you prefer. So this is the silver lining that I've placed. Now I'm coming over to the gunmetal gray. And again, you just want to get the edges and be random about it. And I've already done the larger pumpkin portion, just for time purposes on the video. Okay, and then the last color here is the silver. Okay, and with this one, you'll notice that I left a spot open here. I didn't feel it was necessary to completely cover the middle because this will be glued on top. So I'm going to set these aside to dry and clean up the area a little bit. Okay, so our frame and sticks have dried, and when I was kind of looking at it here, kind of wasn't feeling how it looked. I just don't like it the way it is right now. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and use some of this ivory chalk paint and just kind of dry brush over these craft sticks here. See if that'll help me feel a little bit better about it. Now I do have a chip brush, and I'm just going to come out of the lid here, and I'm just going to lightly add a different this color to it here, just to see if I can feel better about it. So, oops, I'm just going to dry brush some color on. I'm going to feel a little bit better about this, but I am going to move this one. Just to kind of mix up some of these ones that got a little bit too dark or too light. Another option is you could go back over with the base color, which was hazelnut Waverly chalk paint. So let me put this over here, and I'm liking this a lot better. So that's good to go, and I'm just gonna let these dry up a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue them to the back of the frame. Okay, so I've gotten the frame put together, all the sticks glued down here, and so I'm going to set that to the side. And the next thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit of dimension on this pumpkin by coming through with this tool here that I got from Dollar Tree. It's got a little ball on the tip. Not exactly sure. I don't think I know what it's for, but I'm just going to come in here and kind of press on this metal and foam core a little bit and see if I can't get just some of these imprints that were on the original pumpkin, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Nothing major, but I just wanted to see if I could give it a little extra something. And it seems to have worked. I don't know if you can necessarily see it on camera, but it is there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. You can most certainly skip this step. But you know I'm extra, so I do extra things. So I just did some little dash marks on there. Oops, I probably don't want to do that though, because I'm scratching off the paint. So I'm liking that. Next, what I'm going to do is come in with this burnt umber from Apple Barrel. And I just have a little bit squeezed out on a scrap piece of paper here. And I'm going to come along the edges and give it a little bit of the rest. So again, this is one of those you could do as little or as much as you would like. And then what I'll do after this portion is dry is go ahead and seal it with the Aleene's spray acrylic sealer. I'm loving how that looks. And then you can also, you know, do a little extra rust all over. And I think what I'm gonna do, or not think, but get a little paintbrush here. Let's get this one. And I'm gonna come in and kind of highlight where those dash marks are that I did. There we go, that's what we have so far. So now I'm going to come back in with this quick grip. And I'm going to put these two together. Okay, so I am going to let this glue set up for a little bit. Then I'm going to take it outside and use that Alien Spray Acrylic Sealer and Matte. And then we'll come back. When I come back, we'll address the stem for this guy. So what I have here is the wood stems from Dollar Tree. These ones are the longer and skinnier ones. They do have ones that are larger around and a little more short, squattier. So I've picked one of the stems out that I would like to use for the pumpkin. So I have the pumpkin here, which I have already sealed, and I just want to make sure that the stem isn't going to be too long to fit into the frame here. And it appears that it's going to work. Now, what I want to do is to raise this up some. So I have 3 of the Tumbling Tower blocks, and I apologize, I don't have any packaging here. But what I'm going to do is hot glue 3 of these here to the back, so that it will be raised up in the frame here. So I'm going to take my hot glue and just put the 3 on here. Let's just make sure that's still going to work. And it is. And so it the stem doesn't stick out as far. Now if you don't have these stems, you can most certainly just get a stick from your yard if you have one, or when you're out on your nature walk, because we all do nature walks, right? When you go on your nature walk, if you find a stick, just grab it up and you can use a piece of it. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and attach these to the frame, and then we're going to make a bow. And I left a little space there because I am going to put a bow, so that space is going to be covered. Now, to make the bow, I'm still working with some of the little small pieces that I had from last year. So I decided I wanted to use these 2, as well as the chevron and burlap. So I'm going to do much like I did the last time, and cut these down because they're a little wide for our pumpkin. So I'm going to start by cutting off a piece using my pinking shears. All right, so I'm going to crisscross these. And I have some twine here. And I also have this garland of pip berries that has some of the coordinating colors of the ribbons here, so I wanted to use that, and that's what the label looks like. so let's see. I think what I'm gonna do is cut 2 pieces of this. And we're going to add this in as well. Okay, so I'm going to pick this whole thing up. Put the twine behind it. I'm going to tie it off here and bring it around to the back. Tie it off in the back. Now, excuse me, what I want to do with these berries is just get a pen and kind of twirl them around the pen. Bring our pumpkin back in. And it's gonna look something like this here. So I think I'm gonna cut down the burlap one just a little bit more. Come on. And you can dovetail the ends of these if you prefer. I'm just going to stay with the pinking shears. And then let's see if I can't. Guess I tied it too tight. Okay, it's all right. I'll just put the longer ones to the bottom here. So now I'm going to glue this into place right here where it's concealing that gap. And we can just finesse it a little bit. And if you still feel like some of the pieces are a little bit long, like this piece here is a little bit out of control, you can always trim it off a little bit. And I'm liking that. Kind of spread your bows out. Now you can see this is a little bit jiggly here, so I'm going to come in with just a little touch of glue, just a little bit, please, to kind of keep that from sliding all around. All right, so this is our project here. And I plan on just leaning this, but if you want to hang it, you can do a twine hanger on the back, and that way you can hang it on your wall. So stay tuned for the final pictures. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button and leave me a comment below. If you'd like to see more, subscribe and choose all notifications so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, love, inspire, create. See you next time.